Welcome to the Scene Weekly podcast, where two part-time cinematics give their best mid-level takes for things only on screens. The big one, that is. This week's episode is focused on the coming-of-age Canadian flick of My Old Ass. Come join Jonathan and Stephen for another week of hopefully less plot chatter and copious more film banter. We are Scene Weekly, and welcome to our world. Stefan.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome. Doing all right?
Yeah. Fine and dandy.
Good.
This
Glad to
fine
hear
and
that.
dandy day. Yeah. Have a chicken that's brooding that's been causing a lot of mischief in this coop of theirs outside. I don't know how to fix that, but
do chickens like do you have like an alpha chicken that's like the king of the coop that they kind of dominate everybody else?
Not really. They kind of just all peck each other. There's a pecking order though, but I don't know who's top. I think it's just like the rules of the game. But anyway, one's just trying to hover over and brood all the eggs. So it's been annoying. Anyway, My Old Ass. You know, I actually put off. I can hear you typing like a mad person. My Old Ass for a long time, primarily because the title. It's not a very good title. It made sense when you watch the movie, but even then I was like, you could have anyway, I put it off because of that, like primarily.
Yeah, I hadn't even really heard of it until you sent me a text message saying I'm on a plane and I'm watching My Old Ass, and I was like, what is this film? What is this movie you're talking about? But it does definitely like catch your attention. It's an attention-getting title, maybe not the best title to. I mean, it kind of not sums up the movie, but gives you like an introduction of what the movie's kind of about and the tone a little bit. But
yeah. I bet your settings are back to non USB sourced information for your microphone that should be there.
Well, shit.
Anyway,
how do I fix that? How do I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And we're back in black. Can I hear you?
Yeah, you can hear me now. I think the sound is better. You know, we fixed all the audio. I mean, it's only episode 78, so
I know that your voice has been, you as a 12-year-old, your voice got a little deeper and it's been very nasally, maybe in California with the dry weather. So I just figured maybe it could be that. I don't know.
Nasally? I don't think so. I think it's pretty. I don't know. If I got visited by my younger self, maybe it would be nasally. We'll see.
What would you ask your younger self, or tell your younger self, I should say?
I would tell him a lot of things. You know,
are you still infatuated with Eminem? That's the question you'd ask your older self.
Learn all the lyrics.
Are you still pretending that you are Eminem and like you've just created all Eminem's rhymes?
I had a phase. Okay, there was a phase, especially when 8 Mile came out. But yeah, I mean that would be weird to meet your younger 18-year-old self. And like,
so it would be. Let's go into the backstory here. The movie itself, an 18th birthday mushroom trip. Great start to the synopsis of a movie, by the way. Because I guess that could be like a horror movie as well. Like it could go south very quickly, right?
Yeah.
Starts off in the woods taking some mushrooms, and then everyone dies. Brings Elliot face to face with her wisecracking 39-year-old self. When the older Elliot starts handing out warnings about her younger self, what she should be doing and shouldn't be doing, she realizes she has to rethink everything about family, love, and what's actually becoming a transformative summer. Seems pretty basic. And if you were to read this again with the name and title of My Old Ass, it'd be like, yeah, it's not much substance. This movie's been made before, right? Except maybe the mushrooms. But you get into it and you'll realize that, it's by the way, directed by Megan Park. Megan, I don't know. Never heard her name out loud. 2024, 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. That should have been indicative also with our Aubrey Plaza of going to watch this. 15 million budget, 5.7 box office. It's one of those that probably would never really do well in the box office, but thoroughly enjoyed it so much. I did what I normally do when I thoroughly enjoy movies. This is free on Prime at the moment. I just went and rewatched it that same exact day. It's fantastic. Loved it. I don't know what I would tell my younger self though to answer. Probably nothing, because it seems like it would just have the butterfly effect. And
yeah, I've seen that movie. It's not very good.
Yeah. How bad do you think it would be to watch it now?
What, the butterfly effect?
Yeah, I've only seen it once, and I remember it being good. So there's
Yeah,
that.
I remember it like being like very, very interesting and captivating, but I think now like it would fall apart. I don't know. Maybe it's just the Ashton Kutcher of it all. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. So for example, if I hadn't like there, I had one decision to make with two choices in college. University of Florida, I was gonna to walk on, or hopefully walk on to their track team. Probably not even walk on, but attempt to. And then, to our fine university, I wouldn't have met you, and we had this podcast. So if I went back and be like, "What to be a better runner, you should stay local and go to University of Florida." And then maybe I didn't want to get so far away from Georgia as possible that I ended up in South Korea. And then, those effects probably going to be like a window washer in Florida, or something, and couldn't find a job. And I'm just like, fuck it all, become a meth addict. And, that could happen. So I think I wouldn't tell my younger self anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
I kind
just,
of had that same thing, but not at the start of high or the end of high school, but like midway through college, I was like, should I transfer to a D1 school, Georgia State, or go to an art school in SCAD?
yeah.
And I could have been like this like film director,
Yeah.
instead of doing podcasts now. Like who knows? Could have been writing scripts, could have been doing
Who
that whole
knows?
thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that decision. But yeah, very to give some backdrop to this movie, I thought for many occasions that it was kind of about to go over the top with just kind of not the dialogue per se, but the moments that felt initially knee jerk reaction felt like this was like a Star Wars, new age Star Wars flick where it's like you have to have a equal parts representation of like whatever is being discussed. So like, there's a lesbian relationship, and just like a funny looking dude named Chad. It's just like everything is like kind of picked and pieced together to have a little bit of a feel of a Star Wars film, and pansexual, for example. And then it all worked though, for me at least. I didn't find it too cheesy. And I thought initially knee jerk, I was like, oh, okay, like maybe this is going to be one of those films, but it just felt like it kind of fell into place, including the main relationship of the whole movie, which I initially didn't like. How are these two people going to get together? And like clearly it's Chad, and she's been warned to not have this relationship. And I also again thought it was pretty instinctual of like what's going to happen in the future. Hence the reason that she's telling her younger self not to talk to Chad. But even with all of that, I still loved it, and I wanted it to like Sweater Song, like just take it one piece at a time and just see where it's going to go and take us. I enjoyed it thoroughly, though.
Yeah, I think watching it, I was kind of going into it seeing like the the kind of overall formulaic process of what it was going to be, and then it kind of turned it on its head a little bit. Like it kind of surprised me a little bit of like the emotionality of it and like where it was going
Yeah,
and the message that it sent. Like you get it. Like all right, the girl is 18. She's kind of a firecracker. She wants to get out of her cranberry farm upbringing and go to the big city, and that's what she's about to do. But she takes this mushroom trip, right? And in this mushroom trip, instead of tripping balls, she trips and sees and has an encounter, summons her older self, 39, almost 40, Aubrey Plaza, in a great like kind of cameo scene. She has like two cameos in this, but um, and you kind of think like, okay, she's just gonna tell her younger self how to live her life better, spend more time with her brothers, appreciate her mom a little bit more. Like you get those kind of things, like, and those things happen, but there's like this underneath that, like, I didn't expect the Aubrey Plaza character, her, to have this much like emotional resonance at the end of the film as well, where it was like this undercut that just hits you. And I don't want to spoil it or give it away. I want people to watch this film. Maybe we can spoil it at minute 22, but like, oh my God, it did hit me pretty hard.
it hit me very hard in multiples of ways that were just so subtly delivered. And like one of them was the like I could clearly put myself in the situation of her moving away from the cranberry farm and wanting having no relationship to it, and that's why her whole family, who knew that they were selling the farm and left her out of that discussion, I could put myself in those situations because we do want to grow up, and you kind of distance yourself at that age from your parents, and you want to be strong in your own individual mindset. And so you actually do physically want to move away from them, whether that's to go to college or to start a new job or something, whatever that is. But there is a separation, and you can see that. But at the same time, that's scary. And the way that it's delivered in this movie, in the sense that like that's now gone. So like you don't have a backstop. I was like, I get that. Even though she doesn't want to be there, she's going to Toronto. She's going to be
She
in
took
the
it for granted.
yes, in the city lights. But now that comfort is being ripped away, which I could definitely like that kind of happened to me when I moved to West Georgia, and my mom immediately moved to Colorado, and I was like, I don't know what home is anymore.
Yeah.
Like, so it became a little strange. It is really nice, and I think about that with my own daughter at this moment while watching in the future, that it will happen to us because our plan is to move from where we currently live elsewhere, maybe Florida, probably, but where she would have that same situation of like, which hasn't been discussed, but we have about 10 years. The same example of like, she doesn't have that home anymore, which makes me think maybe we should just stay here for a couple of years. Who knows after? Yeah, but it really, especially the ending part you're speaking to, which, I mean, there's a few things that I could take away from this movie that were like so touching, but that one in particular, it's like, you know what? Fuck, my 18-year-old self is right. Like, just let's not change this. Basically,
Live
like,
life. Right. Don't be afraid to live your
yeah.
life and do those
And
things.
that's why I think if I was talking to my former self, who's fucked up a lot of stuff, I just would be like, all right, just keep fucking it up, I guess. Like, you're alive. But yeah, it's so emotional, especially the scene I can think of on the patio where the mom is reflecting and talking about stories and of her daughter when she was like being raised and how she was like difficult to raise basically in those moments. And like, what did you do? Like in a moment where it's like you had no patience left. It's like, well, kept rocking you, kept holding you, because that's what mothers do. And I was like, that's the moment I told you. I was like, it may not resonate with you, but like, because watching these types of movies prior to having a kid, like it's not the same thing. I just it's emotional, but it's like not the same. And I was like, damn, that's fucking deep. Because I'm having those conversations now. My own daughter just saying like, do you remember when you were like 2 or 3 used to do that? And she's like, no. It's like, let me show you a video, which is like gonna be interesting for kids these days because there's videos of everything now, and it's like that become they don't have a memory, but that is the memory now, like the video of them watching themselves. Which I will say one last thing. I've said this on the podcast before, but I really enjoy and appreciate as an adult, um, like coming of age moments, I guess, or a celebration that is like based upon history, or it could be even something new into your own desired family. But like a bar mitzvah, for example, like it's just a random day that people become adults. But I think it's good because how else are you going to understand like the complexity of adulthood? You're not. It's going to take time. It's not going to be in a single day, right? But I do like the coming together of your friends and your closest family, or your closest friends and your family to celebrate you becoming an adult, the bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah for women. And I do appreciate those in any other culture that does something similar. I think they're useful for the identity and the creation of identity for young children. And I think anyway, I wish I had something like that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, in Mexican culture, you have the quinceañera. You have all of those things. So I appreciate it. And this is definitely like a film about your coming of age or losing innocence in a sense. And like one of the scenes that really hit me hard, the way that it was filmed, the way that it transpired. And I want you to, like, if you can, I know you've already seen this movie a few times, but watch it again. The way that he plays with the director plays with the lighting within the story frame. It's when Chad and the main girl, they're floating on the boat, and it's their first time kind of floating on the boat, and it goes in and out of this like sunlight and little shade and everything like that. And it's when he's telling the story about like do you remember the last time you played outside with your friends and you played make believe, and then you went to bed, and that was the last time you ever played make believe? Nobody remembers that, right? You remember doing it, but you don't remember the last time you lost that innocence. And it's not something that you celebrated that it was your last time or anything. It was just gone. And that really hit me really hard, because that happens a lot in life, where it's the last time you ever do something and you wake up the next day and it's gone. You're never going to do it again.
Yeah. And it goes back to that Office quote, where it's basically, you wish that you knew you were in the good times so that you could basically appreciate them more.
Yeah.
Which, it's so true though. And it's interesting in that moment, specifically to what you're mentioning, you don't want to play make believe anymore. Do you know what I mean? You want to move on. You want to I'm too old for this. Well, there's going to come a time where you're going to actually be too old for this, and you can still play make believe. Might be less acceptable, but like, you're going to miss it, that innocence, because there really is no going back. I mean, once you make that line of make believe, it's like, when do you do it next? I guess with your own kids, which is fun. That you get to recreate a lot of your own childhood having kids again. Like, for example, we played a game which is very violent, by the way, as I'm realizing. It's called Booger. Doesn't sound that bad, but it's hide and go seek you black out your windows. You black out an entire room. And then you have like booby traps. And basically somebody goes and hides, so you can't see anything at all. Somebody is hiding and you have to find them. But along the way, there's like many obstacles. We used to like hang golf clubs, and anyway. These are things that like I haven't done since I was a child, and like you're saying, I set a hard deadline. Like, I'm not gonna play Booger again. Now I am. It's so much fun though. Yeah. So you get to bring it back. But awesome. I have to ask a question. Would you kiss yourself?
No, I that's not something that
I guess if you're a girl,
maybe. But I mean, she already had those kind of pansexual tendencies that she didn't realize until later in the film. But yeah, I don't think I would lean over and give myself a smooch. But funny enough, I was thinking about my history with psychedelics and mushrooms and things like that. And like, I remember the first time I ever took a little bit of mushrooms was at West Georgia in the woods. And that was with you, actually, of all places. So
that was funny.
Definitely a fun experience.
Yeah, it's something that, like, maybe if you took a Herculean dose of mushrooms, something like this would happen. It would have to be a lot. I mean, I've taken enough to be like that fisherman on that painting right there is casting outside of the painting. Like, something's going awry here. But yeah, I liked, and one thing I didn't understand after the first watch, and I think I told you, I was like, you should look up Justin Bieber's "One Less Lonely Girl," because I hadn't even heard the song, for example, so I didn't know it was a thing. And then Billie Eilish, I guess, recently was on stage, and she was that "One Less Lonely Girl." Looked into this a little too deeply, to be honest with you, but I was like, that is so hilarious, and also the cutscene of the moment where you're in her vision of being on mushrooms. You're dancing to "One Less Lonely Girl." I love how her friend is like, God damn, she is high as shit, or whatever she said, basically looking at her high on mushrooms when she's not, and she's like, wow, she's having a blast.
I've done that biggest before. Laughter. That was the biggest laughter from our house, was when that cutscene happened and she was just dancing by herself to "One Less Lonely Girl."
Because I've been like a watcher of people like doing drugs like this, and been in that moment of like, dude, whatever is happening in your brain, that seems amazing. But I was like, I could totally put myself in the situation of like, yeah, they're having a blast. Yeah, it's better than thinking the grass is eating their legs and crawling up their neck. But yeah, terrific movie.
Have you ever tried it with making hot tea, or do you just do the chocolates, or what's the go-to back in the day?
I like the fresh ones the best. That's when like
the wet fresh. Ugh.
Yeah, the fresh ones, and then I have some dry ones. I've made it. Yeah, I just I don't know if I've ever made a tea. Maybe a tea in college, but yeah, I just chew them up. Don't like the taste. I don't care.
Tastes like dirt.
I love the. You know what other time was like hilarious to me, because you could see her Aubrey Plaza, her character, her older self was like not wanting to deliver anything to affect disastrous change to her life, and so she's like, "Tell me one good thing." She's like, "You're a PhD student
at 39."
I was crying because it's like, all right, I'll just give you some. It's like I'm not going to tell you the subject though, so just to spoil it. She's like, "What?" The same reaction I would have would be like, "What? What? This is ridiculous! Like this is absurd."
Also, there seemed to be in this movie's future. There seemed to be like bomb shelters going on and like sirens happening when she's on the phone. Like I gotta go.
So. That was my last comment. Like, what in the hell is going on in the future? Yeah. Like, is this Dresden? Are they firebombing? Like, what's going on here? I don't know.
Something's happening.
It seemed I like how it wasn't glossed over.
Well, they also talked about like eat as much salmon as you can because you can't get it in the future.
There were a few comments like that. I was like, what does it look like? And she doesn't seem that concerned, you know?
Yeah, I mean, she was smoking some weed at a bachelorette party at the end of it, I think, right?
No, dude, she said she smoked how much weed? It was something ridiculous, probably exaggerated. But I will say again, another emotive scene with she's hugging Chad, who's still alive, her older self, and I was like,
so what did you think?
Long hug,
when let's back it up real quick. When the one little note that she gave her, she said, I'm not going to tell you to invest in the next Apple. I'm not going to, tell you like what to do, but there's one thing that you should avoid. And that's a guy named Chad. Avoid Chad at all costs. Right. And then like literally the next scene, we see this like little fun romantic like scene in the local watering hole, and it's Chad. Right. And the whole movie, she's like drawn to Chad, but she's not sure because she's trying to listen to her older self. And at the end, like, what did you think? I thought like Chad was just like a person that she kind of fell in love with, and later on he broke her heart. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Immediately, I was like, he's going to die. Yeah, immediately. And I was wishing it. Like, I was like, I hope it goes all the way. I don't want some bullshit exam. I want him to die. And I was like, yes, he's dead. Chad dies.
You cheered that on.
No, I'm serious because I was like, they went there, but I was like, my first instinct was he's dead. For sure, he's going to die.
Yeah, I didn't have that. I just thought that like stay away from him because he's going to break your heart. He's going to cheat on you. He's going to do something that just like, but he seemed like this like golden retriever of a human, just super nice, caring, kind, funny. Everything about him was, perfect. It obviously got her to switch sides at the plate and bat from a different stance.
I had no idea about this guy as an actor before this until I Googled him today, and it turns out he's got kicked off a show for alleged misconduct. I don't know what that is about, but
maybe his true life character is not the character that he portrayed here.
No, but
he's a good actor.
His portrayal though was like so convincing, and so like everyone, like the two main characters, their portrayal was so convincing. Even the little brother was just like, he's like, are you gonna miss me? He's like, no, but it's like that. The way he is saying it, he's got to have a brother or sister in real life that like it's pretty easy. Like I'm sure you can do the same. Like go back to your child and be like, oh God, maybe you guys had a different relationship, but I could definitely remember multiples of examples of my brother and I not getting along well at all. And I could certainly put myself in the situation like, no, I'm definitely not going to miss you. But it's very realistic.
And the other little brother that's just obsessed with Saoirse Ronan.
That one came out of left field. Like they mentioned it originally, and then when he moved into his new room, the entire wall is pictures of her. I was like, I love small little tidbits like that. The movie itself, it's really broken down well. In fairly 15 million. I guess it's not fairly inexpensive anymore, but I love the way it was constructed.
Yeah, and I was like watching it, and me and my girlfriend were just commenting like, that just looks like a beautiful place to live.
Right?
Like, that farm?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get away from that.
Yeah.
I just want to go there.
I kept thinking that as well. Yeah. I'm getting older to the extent that, that's city life is strangely enough becoming less tolerable. I don't know, the loud noises, just a bit too much. Yeah,
Loud noises. A lot of people like. I mean, I'll drive a tractor. I'll sift through some cranberries and in a little pond. Like I'll do that. You look at the golf course they got to play at. Look at the watering hole. Like, come on.
Yeah. I loved
great.
it. Great movie. Saw it twice in a day. I saw half of it again last night, which was I don't know. It's just one of those that I can certainly come back to.
Yeah,
unlike Hail Mary.
I think
I wish somebody would have warned me about that, by the way.
About Project Hail Mary?
Yeah. Like, is anyone like still going to bat for it? Like, is there anyone on the opposite side being like, visually that was great, but what the fuck did I just sit down to do? What? Anyway.
I was a fan.
Not a fan.
I was a fan of Project Hail Mary. Count me in.
Yeah, you have to say that you were, because you read the book on tape.
Yeah, does that count as reading the book if somebody is like a bedtime story in my ear, somebody just reading it to me?
Yeah. I mean, look, the retention, Hashim once told me this, and this is probably completely inaccurate. Don't even believe this, but the retention is basically if you read and listen at the same time, read in the sense of like you're reading physically, it's like 50% retention. Again, the numbers don't make sense. If you just read, it's 40%. And then if you just listen, it's 30%. So yeah, you're going to retain more if you're doing like actual physical reading, but like it's like having a conversation. You're going to remember some things you're not going to remember. And to be honest with you, I mean, if you get done with a book and you remember everything, physically reading it, I don't know. That's very impressive.
I don't have that kind of memory.
Me neither. I'll watch a movie twice in one day and still not remember everything.
This movie, My Old Ass, it's one of those films that you hear the title of the movie in the movie a couple of times. You know that?
The Family Guy joke, yes.
The Family Guy joke, yeah, you got that.
Yeah.
I think her number was saved as My Old Ass. What else? What else about this movie you want to talk about? Anything?
No, I like the feeling. I need more movies like this. I think there's something to be said where, like, was it Scott Adams of the Dilbert author and Dilbert creator? It's like, if you watch too many sad movies, you'll probably end up being sad. I like this though. It's like, while this is sad, it gives hope of like, go out and live your life, and I appreciate that.
Even if you know the outcome, even if you know somebody's gonna die.
I hope it's you.
It's what's the saying? It's better to loved and lived. I don't know what lived and loved, something like that, than never gained it all.
To never loved it all. It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved it all.
That's the movie. That's the whole like thing, right?
Yeah, I felt like there's like a nod to Hot Tub Time Machine somewhere in here, but so what do you rate it? I'm gonna go first. I think you went first last time. So definitely a rewatchable movie for me. I think you hinted upon how the light touched your eyes, but I could rewatch this definitely in the next even few weeks and still would find something to enjoy about it. Again, like it went to a point that I felt like it was going to be like a Star Wars film and just everyone's got to be involved. And then just it made it work. So maybe Megan Park needs to direct the next Star Wars flick. But I gave it 4 glasses for me. I really enjoyed it thoroughly.
Cool. For me, I think caught me by surprise. I really like the casting of it. I thought they did a good job casting actual like young looking teenagers rather than somebody that's like 28 that's trying to play a teenager.
Yeah.
Shout out to the actress. I think her name's Maisie Stella, who was the younger version of Aubrey Plaza. I like that they even like, why is your teeth different? Dude, wear your retainer. That's great. Great little
And
just like
moisturize.
and moisturize. Like they don't look much alike at all, but it kind of makes sense in that respect. But yeah, just one of those like coming of age, funny, heartwarming, touching movies that like had a lot more pathos and like emotion that I didn't expect coming out of it. Like I saw where it was going in the middle of it, and then it kind of just like did that little gut punch at the end that just like it was going to be like a 3.5, and I'm going to bump it up to 4 just because like it had that wallop at the end that just really hit you.
It's so true though. While she's sitting on a toilet, I think, for memory serves, probably not. And until next week or next year, who knows?
Who knows? What do you got?
We got to do a Seoul one, right?
Seoul.
Yeah, I mean we're going to Korea. We got to do one in.
I was thinking like Korean, I was thinking my soul, like something deep within me that I need to choose. But yeah, if you want to do something with, I mean, we've already done Train to Busan. Have they made any other Korean movies? I don't think so, right? Is that the only one?
Have they made any other Korean movies?
Yeah, is that it?
Yeah, there are a couple out there.
Okay,
we can chat through that next time. We'll figure it out. And until then,
goodbye
from our world.